Hello everyone. We're gonna give an update about what we've been learning on recording and using the Edison.
Yes. So we have bravely moved on to the Edison, seeing that the Edison is probably the way to go given what we've learned from listening to In the Mix, right?
Control.
No, you have to. So here's what we need to do. I'll let you do it when it's time. So do you remember we select a track, and there is a way to do it if you watch In the Mix's video, but the shortcut is Control E. Do you want to hit Control E for me, please?
Control E.
And that brings up the Edison.
It also slot 1 just turned it into Edison.
Into the Edison. So I think if you right click on us, oops. That brings up a whole bunch of plugins, I think. That's something good to know. All right, so if you select a track and you hit Control E, it will bring up the Edison.
But you have to be on the mixer if you want to use Control E to bring up the Edison. Is that what you learned?
Yes, you're right about that, because we learned that just hitting Control E anywhere doesn't help you.
No, it's only when you're on the mixer when you can press Control E to bring up the Edison.
So what we did was we selected one of the tracks in the mixer, and then you hit Control E. You know it's selected when it becomes highlighted, and then you see the imaginary wire over to the master volume. So here's the Edison. We have only used some of the simple features. You'll remember from our last video, we were accidentally using the Edison to save our clips because that was the only way we could figure out how to save our clips so that we were recording in the playlist.
Yeah.
The Edison is an incredibly powerful tool. If you watch In the Mix, he has a substantial amount of videos about how to use it. Go ahead.
And he said that it looks very easily, but he said it would, some of them were like doubled up to be 2 buttons.
What do you mean?
Like 2 things in the same button, like how there is.
Oh, like when I hover over this button, it says clean up, clean noise, and acquired noise profile.
Yeah.
And then add or remove marker and region.
Yeah, so it looks a lot complicated. That's what he said. It's a lot more complicated than you think it is.
Yes. So go ahead, Katya.
So in the top there's pause, reset, and record.
Well, we have loop. What's this one over here?
Recording.
Slave playback to host. We're gonna have to learn what that means. There's loop. We have play pause. Scrub, we have no idea what that does. We have stop and record. So you know what's really cool is having no idea what you're doing, you can look at it pretty intuitively and understand I need to record, I need to stop, I need to play. And it's okay if you have no idea what all of these other things do, except for the save button. That's going to be important too, and that's right over here. Go ahead.
So right next to this.
Oh, good point. Yes.
And right next to that, there's how many minutes you want to record your video.
I already forgot about that. You're right about this. So we're gonna just play around. We're gonna learn about all these different modes, but right now we're gonna use the record now. You can set a timer. 5 minutes I guess is okay. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to record 5-minute chunks, but
no,
we're just going to have fun with it. But it is important to set that to now. And then that way when you hit record, it's actually going to start recording. So with not much further ado, there's a lot of buttons here. We might as well talk about there's undo history, claw machine, normalize, trim, slide, noise, gate noise, fade in, fade out. So the only ones that really make sense to me are the fade in and the fade out. Run script. A lot of these we're just going to have to learn. Time stretch.
So
Reverb, we played around with reverb a little bit, right? We did not use blur, equalize. So anyway,
we didn't use a lot.
We're just learning, and let's just talk about recording because that's really all we know how to do, huh?
I know.
Okay, so who's gonna go first? Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna sing Baba Black Sheep.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Baba black sheep.
Ooh. You know what we forgot to do? We need to delete the, you know what we forgot to do?
Redo.
Undo. You know what we forgot to do? Look at this. This is the kind of new person mistake. We didn't turn on our microphone. There we go. Hold on. Turn down the level a little bit just in case. Okay, yes, so Edison's right here. It's set to now, 5 minutes. Are you ready to record for real now? Now we can see our levels going. So don't forget to turn on your microphone. Oops.
Oopsie.
You ready?
Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full. That's all I don't know.
Well, this is a good. We're going to learn a little bit about the tools too that we figured out. So there's a little lead at the beginning here, right? So let's listen to it. Let's turn off the microphone. Let's bring up the mixer. Okay, it's her turn. It's her turn right now. Let her have her time.
Oh, and also, if it's in red, if you press delete while everything is in red, you will delete the whole thing. Whatever is in red, that's what you can use.
So what I figured out is I just kind of double click and it creates a line. And then if I hold and left click and hold, and then I'm dragging it, I'm going to click now delete button. And now we trimmed it up a little bit so it won't have so much lead. Well, let's hear what we need to delete. Let's hear where we need to delete from. Okay, you ready?
Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags.
Ooh, you know what? The other thing he was talking about was so you don't want to hear two. Yeah, let's see if we can get rid of the echo by doing that.
Have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags.
Okay, so we know from the blank spot, right? So about right there. Well, no, that's where she says I'm done. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So what am I doing? I double click and that makes a line. We're not going to delete anything, but if you double click and make the line and then you left click and hold, you can select regions. So what did I do at the front and back? I double clicked the line and then I dragged it this way to delete out, let's say, this part of it. Double click a line and go that way to delete out anywhere where you look and you see like a flat line, that's where there's no sound happening. So, you know, there's always a pause at the beginning, there's always a pause at the end. So let's go, let's listen to what we have right now.
Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full.
Perfect, right? Okay, so what have we done? We have recorded a clip. We've trimmed the left and the right of the clip that we didn't like. Now we should probably save it, right?
We'll save it as Baba Black
Save
Sheep.
Sample as
Baba Black Sheep. Well, we already did Baba before.
That's right next to it.
Hey, there's an Edison.
Yes, here's the Edison. So,
let's see, what shall we name it?
Baba Black Sheep. Lever.
No, Black Sheep.
okay.
We'll name it Black Sheep.
Leave.
Let's do.
Let's do Lizzie.
Let's just do L.
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep song.
Dun, dun. And what's really funny is halfway through the thing, I forgot what I was going to say.
Now the one thing we need to figure out
the whole thing.
is we need to figure out where those actually go to, because we know we have recorded, right? And that's where all our files have been going to. But where did the Edison files go to, right? Remember we had to go find those? So we might go save sample as, and we can right click. Let's see if it'll let us do that. We can copy it.
Now let's see where it went to.
And then if we go to recorded, say open, now I can right click and paste. And so now I've pasted a copy we're going to have to figure out where you access these files from. You can obviously probably, there's an open function in here somewhere, but we want to have them really easy to drop into our music. And so what we're going to have to start doing, you see how busy this is already starting to get?
Yeah, we need to delete.
We're gonna do folders. Like you see how I put my 1 star, and that's where I'm gonna put my files for my 1 star. So I think what we'll do is we'll give each of you a file folder of your own, and all of your recordings will go in there.
Okay.
Okay, so what did we learn how to do? We learned how to record a person's voice. We know we can add reverb. Do you want to see what blur does? Amount, offset, mix. Huh. Well, I guess we could just see what it does. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, that does a lot of interesting things, doesn't it?
Like ruining my song.
Oh, I'm not gonna ruin your song. I wouldn't do that. Do you want to see what reverb? We'll do a little bit of reverb. Let's bring a little bit in and see what it. Let's bring that down to half. It kind of puts you like you have an echo effect and like you're singing in a very large room.
Yeah, this is like a very small room. Why is there yes sir, yes? Why do you just get cut off?
Because it's a preview. It's just playing a little bit. So here's the original.
I do mine.
You know what I'm gonna, there's no echo, right?
No.
That's really cool. You know, we were trying to figure out how we were having problems. You know, my one thought about the problems we were having before is maybe was because you have to skip past those first 4 channels that are routed to the channel rack automatically.
To the mixer?
Because you notice how we were recording our vocals in like the first 4 rows of tracks? So I wonder if those first, no, we were using, anyway, because you know how we talked about not to have 2 sets going to the same, anyway, go ahead, Katya.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we saved it. We know we can close this, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you wanted to record 1 too?
Remember, if we
So
bring up
control-
another Edison, it will bring up another Edison.
What happens if I hit Control E? It opens a second Edison, doesn't it?
Yes.
That's interesting.
You know you can exit out. Or exit out.
Yeah, but
So,
you just go delete. But there we go. Okay. So what do we forget to do?
Turn on our microphone.
Turn on the microphone. You know what I want to do is there a way to undo that?
there's a delete.
Oops. Can you delete it, you think?
No, right click it. You did something. Or like this. Delete.
Look at that. She knows how to use the software better than I do. Okay.
Why? I just noticed when you were trying to
Me too.
I'm trying to pay you. Come
too.
on.
It's fine.
Okay.
Let's continue.
So let's make sure we didn't actually turn on the microphone, did we?
No.
No.
Microphone is on. Levels are
Always
already
look over there.
adjusted. Edison is up and ready. It's already set. I'm gonna record. I'm gonna record you. Are you okay? So here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna point at you when I hit record, and it's going. As soon as I point at you, you start singing. You point back at me when I hit stop. Okay? I won't know when to hit stop until you point at me. You ready?
Baba Black Sheep, have you any more? Yes, sir, 3 bags more. One for my master, one for my day, one for the little boy who lives on the lake.
All right. So, do you want to trim?
Yeah, trim here and here.
So let's go back over it. I'm double clicking my left, and that creates the little line here. I'm left clicking and holding the mouse, and I'm dragging it this way, and then I hit delete. Double click, left click with the mouse. Oh, not quite close enough. A little closer. Perfect. Left click and hold, and everything that shaded this color is going to go away when I hit the delete. Okay, now what else should we do? We should turn off our microphone probably, right? Because we don't want to get feedback here.
No feedback allowed.
So when it's moving up, that means
That means it's getting audio levels. It's like there's a thing called a graphic equalizer, and it's showing you in a graphic that you have sound coming in. Okay, you want to hear it?
Baba Black Sheep, have you any more? Yes, sir, 3 bags more. One for my master,
It's okay.
one for my day,
I guess.
one for the little boy who lives on the lake.
All right. Do you want me to save that for you?
Yes.
Okay, so
That was like a very short version. Mine was like a very short version of Baba Black Sheep, and hers was a little longer. But I bet we can have the whole lyrics in front of us and actually sing the whole lyrics. Black sheep, have you any wool? Do you have wool?
okay, so then what did we figure out we could do? We could save sample as I can right click it, I can say copy, and then I have already opened the recorded folder. It's image, line, data, FL Studio, audio, recorded, and then in fact we're going to go ahead and we're going to say new folder. Okay.
So that's for my folder.
And then we're going to paste it here. Well, the thing is, people should know about file length and folder name. You start making these incredibly long paths with incredibly long folders and folders and folders, folder names that are long, and a folder name inside of that that's long. And pretty soon you get to the point where your file path is so long you start having problems copying your stuff around. So you see the Edison right there? And so inside Edison, oh, there's where it is. There's our data. All right.
Also, if there is a way to access your Edison videos
that I did
that you recorded.
Well, let's record one. I wanted to record one.
Okay, what are you gonna record? Fake one star.
Well, we recorded part of. So what did we work on earlier? Let's.
I am the Loch Ness monster after.
But I thought your budget was about $350. But I thought your budget was about $350. I took a funky beat and I looped it.
So we're assembling our pieces. We did that together today earlier when we were learning. When we were not, we were just doing learning by ourselves without recording a video. But we wanted to give you all an update where we were at.
I took a funky beat and I looped it.
Yeah, I took a funky beat and I looped it. Looped it. Looped it means you copy a piece of it and put it into your song and play it. And what they used to do is they used to take a melody, because they didn't have a lot of money to use a studio and all kinds of stuff. So they would take somebody else's recording and they would take a very short 3-second, 4-second piece and loop it, meaning they play it over and over again, and they would get their melody by playing somebody else's melody in 4-second chunks over and over and over and over again. So I want to record one actually. So instead of saying,
but I thought your budget was about $350.
I want to say,
monster after you to get 350.
Okay, so let's delete this.
Turn the microphone.
Oh, you're right. Look at that. Everybody's learning how to use this
No,
better than.
just looked over here.
Everybody's learning how to use the software better than me. That's the way it works. The kids always take over. All right, it's okay. Nothing wrong with that. We're all having fun here.
I'm inspecting you.
You're inspecting. Okay. So I want to sing, but I thought your budget was $3.50.
Don't worry.
D. Don't worry, I'll recoup it. Okay, let me try that. Are you ready? Okay, everybody be quiet. But I thought your budget was $3.50. That's okay, I'll recoup it.
You should use that.
Let's see. So we're gonna delete out the front. No, the pause is okay. Let's see how that sounds.
But I thought your budget was $3.50. That's okay, I'll recoup it.
I forgot to say D. I need to record it, right? Redo.
I can say D for you just in case.
That's okay. We will have you sing parts of it.
Okay.
Well, do you want to say, but I thought your budget was $3.50, D?
Can we all say it?
You two can sing that. How about that? So, but I thought your budget was $3.50, D. Okay.
But I thought you
But I thought your budget.
But I thought your budget was $3.50.
D.
Don't worry.
And then I'll say, don't worry, I'll recoup it. Okay. So as soon as I hit record, I'll point at you and you say, but I thought your budget was $3.50, D. And I'll say, that's okay, I'll recoup it. Okay, you ready?
But I thought your budget was $1 million, D.
Nope. Okay, let's try it again.
$1 million.
Well, the original, see, we want to be different. The original song, as I thought your budget was $1 million.
Okay.
But we're gonna have some fun. There's a really great cartoon where he says I need about $3.50. So we're gonna do all kinds of fun.
Watch that.
Yeah, well, I'll let you listen to it. We won't watch the whole thing. It's not really appropriate for little kids. Appropriate. Okay. So as soon as I hit record, I'll point. But I thought your budget was $3.50, D. Are you ready?
But I thought your budget was $3.50, D.
That's okay. I'll recoup it. Oh, that might be really good. That might be a great take. Let's see.
That's a lot.
Are you ready?
But I thought your budget was $3.50, D.
It's like an echo.
Recoup it.
I think we got a winner.
Yay!
All right, let's save this. I like it. Thank you for your help. We'll call it $3.50. D.
I think you should have called it $3.50. I want the Loch Ness. How do you say it?
Loch Ness Monster. Okay.
Not Loch.
So $3.50D. We're going to copy it. And everybody on the YouTube community, I'm sure you know a way better way for us to get automatically to. So it was data Edison data, but we don't want that. We want recorded, right? So what we do is you right click on recorded and you say open. There we go. And that's where we're going to put it because that's where it belongs.
Can we start maybe in our next video start like piecing it together maybe?
We can. So what I have to do, so my goal is I want to write a song. And I'll tell you, FL Studio, just looking, we've only started scratching the surface on this, but really powerful program, huh? Like the more we learn how there's more to learn. So let's see here. So we've saved that. It's good. We can turn off our microphone. I think we're going to wrap up the video. We're getting a little bit long here already, probably.
I know. It's only 8:05.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think that's it. We've showed you how to do some basic recording in Edison. We've showed you how to do some basic clipping in Edison. We've showed you how to save two ways in Edison, inside of the Edison and also to save it to the recorded over here on the left side in your browser so it's easy to get to. So you go down, your browser looks like this when you first get to it. You go down to recorded and here's the stuff I've been working on.
I think we need to get rid of maybe some, just not like these ones, but like the ones that.
Well, what we can do is we can go through on a free time and we can clean it up and organize our folder a little bit.
Yeah, and Lisa gets her own.
Yes, and Lisa will get her own. Okay, so let's bring up this so we can turn it off. Does everybody want to say goodnight?
Good night.
Good night. Thank you for tuning in.
Safe.
Stay safe, everybody. Make sure you wash your hands and put on a mask, please. Let's see. And then what are we going to keep going on? I think we're going to learn more about recording our voices.
And level up.
And we're going to try to level up, right? We're going to see if we can watch some more in the Mix channel about how to edit our voices.
Search in the Mix.
And then I need to write a song. So the way I think I'm going to do I want to modify the politician song, but I don't want to, I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to leave his song the way it is because Mr. B did a fantastic job. I'm just going to record a verse that I'm going to sing at the beginning of it, and then we'll let him sing his whole song at the end of it, and I won't mess up his song. So we're going to learn, now that we know in the Edison how to clip out little pieces, I can import his song, listen to it, find pieces of beat where the beat is going without him talking, and I can clip out.
Right.
And then
Right. What? I don't know what you want.
that's okay. So we'll now that we know how to clip out little pieces, the world is limitless now, right? We can now that we can make our own instrument noises now that you know how to record.
Like the piano.
Like once we get
Like-
our grill out of our.
Yeah, we
house.
had to have our decks that are being recoded. We have no choice about that. So we are currently living with our barbecue. So you remember our house from our earlier videos. So imagine where the piano is now has a rather substantial Weber barbecue sitting there. So once we get and then plants from the deck as well, and then there's also the umbrella from the deck too. So it's quite crowded in here right now.
Plant.
And Mama's plants. So basically, now that we know how to clip, the world is ours because any sound out there we can clip. We listen to a song we like and we like a little piece of it. We can clip out a little
Like the
piece of
Queen
it.
of Me.
The Queen of Mean. The only trick is there's things called copyright laws, and that's the only problem we'll run into. But other than that, you can record any sound.
I can ask YouTube.
Yes. So now basically you're right. We do need to learn how to begin to assemble songs into something that sounds like a song. But we needed all these steps, right? We couldn't do anything until we learned how to use the software a little bit, right?
I was
I
trying to
think-
write a decent song. I wanted to make it a minute long, but I couldn't quite make it a minute long.
Well, remember, there was a great program, and there was a character who always used to say, I wrote a song about it, like to Here It Go. And he would write 30-second songs. So we can sing, and we can practice writing a 30-second song. You know how hard it is to make a 3-minute long song?
No, I was thinking just a minute and 30 seconds.
Okay, even that long. So even we could record your first verse and see how it works. We got to find some melody to go with it.
Yeah.
We have to construct and we have to record you singing, and then we have to construct a melody around your
Like
or
the Queen of Me.
well, actually we need to learn about anyway, let's wrap up the video. Say goodnight, everybody. We've got a long way to go, but we are definitely on our way. We're learning about Edison. I think that's the important part, and that'll.
Santa's going to be up for a surprise when it's Christmas.
That's true. Yes, with the barbecue in the way. Okay, everybody. Good night. You want to say good night?
Good night.